evening, everyone, and welcome back to Girls It Goes Global. My name is Leanne, and this evening I'm bringing to you video number 6, which is going to be focused on types of entrepreneurship. Now, when you think of entrepreneurship, you think of someone who has a business, whether it's a small business or medium or large. But entrepreneurship in itself is more than that. So, I'm going to share with you a few of the many types of entrepreneurship that exists, and just not going without going too in depth, but just giving you an idea of what they are and what their differences and similarities are. So, we're going to look at the concept of entrepreneurship. What exactly does entrepreneurship, what does the word mean besides someone who has a business or the industry in which people run their own businesses? So, entrepreneurship, you have to, and before I start, just to give a back story of the videos that I did last year in this project for phase 1. I did a video dedicated to entrepreneurship, starting, running, and growing your small business. And I did highlight some of the different types of entrepreneurship and what exactly an entrepreneur, what skills and qualities that you must, or at least you need to encompass or you need to have to be an effective leader and to effectively grow your business as an entrepreneur. So, entrepreneurship in itself is the ability and readiness to develop, organize, and run a business enterprise along with any of its uncertainties in order to make a profit. So, you have to have the mindset again and the passion for whatever it is that you are going into business for. And with that mindset and passion, it will drive your business towards the goals that you have set for it as an enterprise, and also to generate profit, because as we all know, we are in business to generate profit at the end of the day. But some more than others, some entrepreneurs are actually in the business to resolve or to meet a certain need that they saw in the market or that they saw in their community or in their country that they wanted to address, and they went into business for that reason. So, the most prominent example of entrepreneurship is starting a new business. As I said earlier, the normal person that you may ask, what, in your own words, how would you define entrepreneurship? What exactly do you think entrepreneurship is? The first thing that would come to mind is someone who has a business or who has started a new business. But entrepreneurship in itself, when you think of the development and the ecosystem with the different counterparts and the different aspects of what makes up entrepreneurship in an economy, it's much more than just having a small business or having a business in general. So, the entrepreneur is defined as someone who has the ability, who has the mindset, the passion, the drive, the know-how, because you have to in order to go into business for whatever it is that you want to start a business with, or whatever need that you want to solve or help solve, you have to have the mindset and the competence in order to be able to feed into your business what you want it to, what outcome you want to have at the end. So the entrepreneur is defined as someone who has the ability and desire to establish, to run, to grow, to succeed in a startup venture, and also to have the ability to, just be able to, how do I say it, have the focus and the mindset of whatever is that comes along with running a small business, especially running a business in general, especially as a sole proprietor. The entrepreneurs are often known as a source of new ideas or innovators. So the person starting a business or the team they put their ideas together and they come up with something, they come up with a product, they come up with a service or a combination of, in order to bring forth to their target market. So I'm going to, for the purpose of this video's length, I'm just going to highlight 4 types of entrepreneurship, but there are many types of entrepreneurship that we can sit and talk about, but we're just going to highlight 4 for this particular video. For future videos and for future dissemination of information, I can always go over the other types of entrepreneurship that exist, but for this evening I'm going to look at 4 types of entrepreneurship. So the first type of entrepreneurship that I'm going to speak about is the small business. This is the most common one that, most people start small businesses. So they are entrepreneurs, but they are labeled as small businesses. So these businesses, as in my previous video, which I will link below, which is available on YouTube for viewing on the Girls with Goals Global channel. The small business you would consider as the hairdresser, the barber, grocery store, travel agent, the consultants, carpenters, electricians, and so forth. These people run their own businesses and they hire family members sometimes, or they have a small employee count, so maybe 1 or 2 people working with them, and for them, profits, whatever they make from their small business, would be to help feed their family or to help themselves in terms of their day-to-day needs. And they fund their business by taking small loans, and also some of them may get help from their friends and families. So when you think of a small business entrepreneur, you think of a business that is small, as the name says, but not, just think of it as nothing too elaborate. They have, the hairdressers, they as I said before, the electrician who goes to do, the work here and there, and so forth. Now we have the large company entrepreneurs who, I'm sorry for the noise, but the large entrepreneurship, the large company entrepreneurs is the other type of entrepreneurship that I want to highlight. Now these huge companies have defined life cycles, so most of them grow and sustain by offering new and innovative products. So as opposed to the small entrepreneur, the larger company entrepreneurships, they may either use processes like cross-selling, which is basically using one product that is already on market and using it to promote and to sell a new product that you want to introduce to the market. So as opposed to the small entrepreneur or small entrepreneurship, they focus on one thing. The hairdresser, they do hair. They don't I shouldn't say they don't, but usually you would just find the hairdresser doing hair, solely doing hair. But as time has evolved, you would find that hairdressers, for example, are being innovative and they're introducing different things that go along with doing hair. So some of them may introduce hair bonnets or head wraps or edge wax and different things. So they associate their new products with what they're already offering. But generally speaking, when you want to define a small entrepreneur or small entrepreneurship, and to label the difference between the small and the larger companies, you would more find that the larger companies expand their product or service base as opposed to the smaller ones. So going back to the large company entrepreneurs or entrepreneurship, they offer new and innovative products that revolve around their main products, and this is what you are currently seeing. But time is changing, and you're seeing more of the smaller entrepreneurs or people who are labeled as small in the small entrepreneurship bracket are evolving and being more innovative when it comes to what they currently offer. The next type of entrepreneurship, which is the bracket most of us fall in, is social entrepreneurship. So social entrepreneurs Their basis for starting their business is because they saw a need in the market for a particular product or service, and they wanted to help, or they wanted to address that need. So this type of entrepreneur or entrepreneurship does not focus on profit. Yes, they want to make money and want to make profit, but their ultimate goal is to create impact in the market and to resolve social needs and problems. Their only motto and goal is to work for society and not for profit. Okay, so the last type of entrepreneurship that I'm going to address this evening is the scalable startup. And if this video is, because of time and it's not as extensive, the video that is linked in the comment section will explain more of what scalable startup is. But basically, the startup entrepreneur starts a business knowing what they want to accomplish and knowing what the vision. So they have a vision, a mission, and they have goals. All businesses have goals, but the scalable startup is one where they're in the startup stage, so they're just starting off, but they have that vision to become the next big thing, so to speak. So they attract investors who think and encourage people who think outside the box. They usually go towards opportunities that offer grant funding or seed funding, as we call it, and their research focuses on scalable business and experimental models. So they hire the best and the brightest employees in order to feed into their ultimate vision and goal. They require more venture capital to fuel their initial startup in order to get it where they want it to be and to be considered scalable. So these are the 4 types of entrepreneurships that I wanted to highlight this evening. Thank you again for tuning in to the series of videos under phase 2 of the Bosses Building Bosses project, and stay tuned for video number 7, which will be talking about women in entrepreneurship.